Today is August 10th, 2025, 4 years since Kabul fell, an event that sent shockwaves through the region and forever altered the course of millions of lives. The city, once bustling with hope and uncertainty, now stands as a symbol of a nation caught between its past and an unknown future. The memories of that day linger in the air, shaping every conversation, every decision, and every hope for what might come next. Afghanistan now exists in a state of uneasy suspense. The echoes of open warfare have faded into the background, replaced by a heavy, almost tangible silence that blankets the streets. There are no more gun battles in the city center, but a quiet tension lingers everywhere, as if the city itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to change. The Taliban claims stability and order, projecting an image of control to the outside world. Yet for ordinary Afghans, life is a daily negotiation between survival and fear. Every trip to the market, every conversation with a neighbor is weighed with caution. The rules have changed, and so has the rhythm of daily life. Many Afghans find themselves constantly adapting, searching for news, and quietly sharing information with trusted friends. The uncertainty is exhausting, and hope is a fragile thing, easily shaken by rumors or sudden changes in policy. International aid has dwindled, isolating the nation and deepening a humanitarian crisis. Food and medicine are scarce, and the once busy offices of foreign NGOs now stand empty, their absence felt in every corner of Afghan society. Families ration what little they have, and children grow up faster than they should, shaped by hardship. The city's energy is subdued. The old republic's symbols have been erased, replaced by the Taliban's flags and emblems. The familiar landmarks of Kabul now bear new meanings, reminders of a government that no longer exists and a new order that is still finding its footing. People move with caution, aware that a wrong word or action can have severe consequences. Trust is a rare commodity, and even the simplest interactions are colored by uncertainty. The sense of community endures, but it is quieter, more careful, shaped by the realities of life under new rulers. The past feels distant, the future uncertain. Everyday life is a quiet struggle for dignity and normalcy. Children play in the streets, but their laughter is softer, their games shadowed by the worries of their parents. Families gather in modest homes, sharing stories of what was and wondering what will be. To understand Afghanistan now, you must look beyond official statements and into the heart of its communities, where resilience endures. In the face of adversity, Afghans continue to find ways to support one another, to adapt and to hope. Their strength is quiet but unbreakable, a testament to the enduring spirit of a land held in suspense. Traveling through Afghanistan today is an exercise in constant vigilance and uncertainty. The landscape, once familiar, now feels transformed. Every journey is shadowed by a sense of unease. The roads that wind through mountains and dusty plains are no longer just routes between towns, but corridors of anxiety where every mile brings new questions and new risks. Roads are lined with Taliban checkpoints, each one a stark reminder of the new order. Young fighters, many barely out of their teens, wield absolute authority, their presence both intimidating and inescapable. The checkpoints are frequent, unpredictable, and often tense as travelers brace themselves for scrutiny. At each stop, documents are examined with meticulous care. Passports, Idaho cards, and even the smallest details are scrutinized. Phones are checked for photos, messages, or contacts that might arouse suspicion. A single misstep, a misunderstood message, can have serious consequences. Digital surveillance has become a fact of life. Many Afghans now routinely erase their digital histories, deleting photos, contacts, and social media accounts to protect themselves and their families. This erasure creates a void, erasing not just memories but connections to the outside world and leaving people feeling isolated in both public and private life. For former soldiers, teachers, or journalists, the fear of recognition is ever present. Their past roles, once sources of pride, now mark them as targets. Every glance, every question carries the threat of exposure. The anxiety is relentless, and the sense of danger never truly fades. The Taliban's promise of amnesty is fragile, easily shattered by a moment of suspicion or a rumor. Trust is scarce, and even the smallest doubt can lead to dire consequences. The line between safety and danger is thin, and it shifts without warning. Journeys that once took hours now stretch into days as travelers are forced to wait at checkpoint after checkpoint. The stops are unpredictable and delays are common. Each pause is filled with tension as people wait in silence, hoping to pass unnoticed. The roads themselves are rough and unforgiving, scarred by years of conflict and neglect. But the psychological toll of travel is even greater. Fatigue, fear, and uncertainty weigh heavily on every traveler, making each journey a test of endurance. Every interaction with authority is a careful performance. Civilians speak politely, move cautiously, and avoid drawing attention. Freedom of movement, once taken for granted, is now a privilege granted only to those who comply without question. In this new reality, survival depends on blending in, betraying nothing, and trusting no one. The simple act of moving from one place to another has become a daily negotiation with fear, where silence and invisibility are often the only defenses. Kabul in 2025 is a city holding its breath. The once bustling streets are quieter, colors faded, murals whitewashed, and replaced by Taliban slogans. Cafes and restaurants are segregated or shuttered. Public spaces are dominated by men. Women move quickly, hidden beneath mandatory hijabs, their presence diminished. Poverty is everywhere. Beggars line the streets, vendors struggle for customers. Fear shapes public life. The morality police enforce strict rules on dress and behavior. Social life has retreated indoors, away from watchful eyes. The city's public spaces are hollowed out, conduits for movement rather than community. Kabul's transformation is visible in every anxious glance and empty street. Since 2021, the most devastating change in Afghanistan has been the near-total erasure of women from public life. Once, women could be seen working, studying, and moving freely in the cities. Now their presence has all but vanished from the streets, offices, and schools. The silence is heavy, a stark reminder of freedoms lost almost overnight. Girls are now barred from attending school beyond the 6th grade, their dreams of education abruptly cut short. Universities, once filled with the energy and ambition of young women, now stand closed to them. The laughter and chatter that once echoed in classrooms have been replaced by emptiness and longing. Most forms of employment are forbidden to women, stripping them of financial independence and dignity. Even leaving the house is fraught with restrictions, as women must be accompanied by a male guardian, limiting their autonomy and isolating them from society. Access to healthcare and essential services is often impossible. Many women are turned away from hospitals and clinics, unable to receive even basic medical care. This has led to a silent crisis, as preventable illnesses go untreated and maternal health suffers. The full hijab or burqa is now mandatory in public, strictly enforced by the morality police. Women live under constant surveillance, fearful of punishment for even minor infractions. The pressure to conform is relentless, erasing individuality and self-expression. Public spaces have become zones of anxiety and fear. A simple trip to the market, once a routine part of daily life, is now fraught with risk. Every glance, every step is watched, and the threat of harassment or arrest looms large. Yet in private, Afghan women continue to resist. Secret schools operate in hidden rooms where girls gather to learn in defiance of the ban. Informal networks of women offer each other support, sharing knowledge, resources, and hope for a better future. Their courage is quiet but immense. In their homes, women nurture their families, teach their children, and keep hope alive. Through small acts of defiance and daily perseverance, they sustain not only their loved ones, but the spirit of an entire nation. Afghan women's resilience remains the bedrock of society. Despite relentless efforts to erase them, they continue to defy oppression with strength, dignity, and unwavering resolve. Daily life for most Afghans is defined by hunger, poverty, and fear. The economy has collapsed. Sanctions, frozen assets, and lost aid have left millions in need. Food is available but unaffordable. Unemployment is rampant. In rural areas, the poppy ban and drought have destroyed livelihoods. Families sell possessions or marry off daughters to survive. Fear is constant. Arbitrary detentions and suspicions stifle dissent. Communities are fragmented by mistrust. Survival means staying invisible. Parents skip meals for their children, the sick go without medicine, life is stripped to basics, finding food, staying warm, avoiding trouble. This is the price of peace under the new regime. Afghanistan's cultural landscape has fallen silent. Music is banned from public life. Musicians and artists have lost their livelihoods. The media is tightly controlled. Independent outlets have closed or self-censor. Journalists live in fear. News is dominated by official and religious programming. Public entertainment is gone, cinemas closed, gatherings subdued or segregated. Cultural expression has gone underground, hidden in private homes. For many, especially the youth, the loss of music, art and connection is a deep wound. The silence is not just the absence of sound, but of joy and shared experience. The nation's cultural soul is being starved, replaced by rigid doctrine. Amid darkness, Afghan resilience endures. Hope is found in small acts, teachers running secret schools, neighbors sharing food, doctors offering care in secret. These quiet acts of defiance rebuild trust and community. Young people use the internet at great risk to access knowledge and connect with the world. Digital spaces offer a fragile sense of freedom and hope. The spirit of the people persists in laughter, dignity and love within families. This is not hope for imminent change, but for endurance. The belief remains, this too shall pass. The Afghan spirit is ready to rebuild when the time comes. Hardship and hopelessness have fueled a mass exodus. Millions seek safety abroad, creating a refugee crisis as borders close. Deportations from Pakistan and Iran have intensified, leaving many stranded. The journey out is perilous. Smugglers, violence, and the risk of being sent back. For many, leaving is less dangerous than staying. Western nations have largely turned their backs, closing doors to asylum. Afghans feel abandoned, trapped between hostile borders and a failing state. The exodus is a flight from a future that offers only suffering. The question of belonging has never been more painful or uncertain. As I leave Afghanistan, I see a nation pacified by force, not peace. The Taliban's order has come at the cost of freedom, education, and hope. The world's attention has moved on, but Afghans face their plight alone. Humanitarian aid is scarce, suffering deepens. Yet the spirit of the people remains unbroken, in secret schools, acts of charity, and digital defiance. This resilience is Afghanistan's greatest asset, the seed of a different future. The current chapter is dark, but the future remains unwritten. Hope endures. For a day when children can learn, women have rights, and music returns. That dream persists in the heart of Afghanistan.